Richard has a knife fight.
Let's dance.
That is all to come. But first of all, let me talk you through where we are. It's South Africa. Over there, in the distance, you can see Johannesburg. But this place here is called the Cradle of Humankind. Now, it's called that because archaeologists have determined it was on this very spot that mankind separated from the ape.
Well, I mean...
What?
Be reasonable. You've learnt to put socks on, but other than that...
Listen, I'm trying to be profound here,
Carry
okay?
on.
I'm trying to be profound because this is ground zero. This is where all of human history began. Anyone who comes here, it's like coming home.
Jeremy!
What?
How long has it taken some of us to evolve from being apes, then?
It's taken 2,100,000. It's because, while the rest of mankind has managed to grasp the concept of arithmetic, the president of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, well, how can I put this? He sort of hasn't. I've got a clip here, show you what I'm on about.
We announced that our membership figures stood at 700. Listen properly. 769,820.
I mean, honestly. OK, right, I want to begin with the new Ford GT. Got a picture of it here. Now, this is... Well, you remember the last GT they did? That was just an homage, really, to the old GT40. This one, they say, is actually a racing car on the road. It's got a twin-turbo, 3.5-litre V6, 7-speed flappy pedal box, more than 600 horsepower. The problem is, though, I can't think of any racing car that works on the road, really, ever.
No, they don't.
They don't. I mean, the Nissan GTR, fabulous, fabulous car. Track edition, rubbish. It's undrivable.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point, because a racing car on the road is a bit like trying to play tennis with a cricket bat. It's technically possible.
It's two totally different disciplines. The only trouble is that looks so good, I do find myself going...
You bought the last GT, didn't you?
Yes. Thank you for reminding me, Hammond. Yes, I did.
Did that go well?
No, it didn't go.
Oh, did it not?
No, it didn't. The problem was the insurance company said it had to have a burglar alarm, which blew usually when my daughter was doing a school play and ruined it. And it had to have a tracker. And there is nothing on God's earth more annoying than a tracker.
I mean, I've got a tracker. It doesn't bother me in the slightest.
No, that's because you'll have a little special place on your hall table with a pencil outline. Oh, right, I've got my keys and I must remember to take my tracker, because you're organised and I'm not.
There'll be one for your tracker, one for your keys, one for your little penknife, one for some change in case you need.
Yeah, with the 10p's and the 2p's.
Screwdriver for mending your glasses.
He will, oh, he will.
No, I won't. It lives in a... It just has a little pouch. You just hang it on the hook, and then you take it... Yeah, it's like
He's
a little
got a
holder.
pouch for his tracker.
Especially for the tracker.
Well, yeah, because...
What's it made of?
Well, leather, I suppose.
Little leather pouch. Did you make it yourself?
No, it came...
It's a little leather pouch.
It came with the car.
Did it?
Believe it or not.
Oh,
yeah.
so Ferrari sold it to you? Was it £600? I bet it was.
No, it just came with the car.
It was. You don't think Ferrari give it away? The stripes on your Ferrari, OK? Two stripes, a bit like on that Ford. There are 2 stripes. How much did you pay for those stripes?
Well, they were an option. They were £6,000.
Look, listen, this is why I drive a Golf GTI, OK? Because you don't need an alarm, you don't need a tracker, and it's 5 insurance groups lower down than the previous Golf GTI, that one.
Wow.
It is. It's because you can't crash it.
Bet I could. Worse still, Nissan Juke.
You really hate the Juke.
No, I hate it.
He does hate it.
No,
He
I
genuinely
hate
hates.
I object to it existing. It shouldn't exist. I loathe it. On the motorway, you see them with their stupid, like, double bug eyes. Smug little bug. If I see one, I'm mad. I can't help myself, and it's cruel, and I'm sorry if you're in one, but I do. I see them. I hate
Because I was driving along with him the other day. I was busy telling him a story, and he was looking out the window going, I hate him, I hate him.
I hate them.
Anyway, have you two seen those new pedestrian traffic lights in Trafalgar Square, which, if you're watching in America, is in London, which is in Britain?
These are the ones that have got the two blokes on them, isn't it?
James, don't be sexist.
What's that?
No, because what if you're a lesbian?
Well, you put two women on it.
Well, then what if you're straight?
A man and a woman?
Yeah, but traffic lights are only this big. You can't have a man and a man and a man and a woman and a man who isn't sure and a woman and a woman and...
What if you just want to cross the road?
What? It's like being in the 70s with you two. Crossing the road is now an opportunity for you to express your sexuality.
Yeah.
It is. That's why they've come up with these traffic lights in London.
What are they for?
Oh, they really have. They really have.
They're real.
Yeah, they are for real.
What's that one on the right, then?
Hello, transgender.
What? So hang on. Only
Yeah.
What?
Transgender traffic lights.
I didn't know that.
So only transgender people can cross when that's green.
No.
When it goes red, does that mean it's not okay to be transgender?
That's
what do you make of
That
it?
is a good... I don't know what happens when it goes red. Because I know where they're going to say it's not a... No, I don't know.
And what has any of this got to do with crossing the road? That's all you want to do. It's nothing to do with expressing your sexuality. It's the wrong time. I want to cross the road. All I want to do at that point is work out how to go to the other side. And by that, I don't mean... No. I mean... of the road. Maybe you're right, it is.
We're setting something of a record, actually, because we are the first 3 British men ever to come here for a weekend and not vomit on a prostitute. Actually, we love coming to Holland, James for his own reasons. And I like it because the Dutch are officially the tallest people on Earth. It's true fact.
Yes, and I hate it here. I'm sick of staring at belly buttons all day.
The only problem I do have here is that I'm not allowed to use the word swaffling.
Yeah. Well, you just did, didn't you?
And no, the thing is, OK, it is a really bad word here. And I have no idea why.
What does it mean?
It means... it means to bang your gentleman sausage on the side of the Taj Mahal.
Oh, God.
They look tidy.
Yeah, that's all right.
They look tidy. Right. Let's bring up the leaderboard if we can. Now, there we are. Look, we've already had the 911 GT3 RS round.
What, and you're not going to show the lap?
Nobody's interested in watching an American big sawn in half by a glorified Beetle. It did 1:24. Right, so now let's see what the M4 did. Let's put the time up. There it is. Oh, 2 seconds slower, and that's that's unbelievable. That's not good, is it?
No, that is... I mean, it's only a second faster than a Porsche 718.
I know. I mean, I admire BMW for trying with that car. I really do. But my God, they made a hash of it. In fact, I'm trying to think of a metaphor for someone who's really tried their hardest with something and it hasn't worked. No, nothing's coming to mind.
No, I got nothing.
I got nothing.
I got nothing at all.
So,
Now, you probably read the other day, the Dutch are taking a view on whether to allow people to... how can I put this? Assisted dying if somebody feels as though their life is complete. Okay. Now, this is something that occupies me a lot, I'll be honest with you, because I sometimes think, no, have I done enough now?
yes.
No, you know, when would it be appropriate for me to think, time to end?
Now.
May I get on with it?
Yeah, do it now.
No, but what I want to say is, okay...
I'll get the forms, there can't be many.
The time comes... The time, I think, comes when you stop wanting to be an idiot. That's the time when you've done enough.
Oh, I know what you mean.
No, actually, you are right. Because I think it's the moment where you go into a big department store and you go into the kitchenware section and you see a tea cosy, but you don't put it on your head.
Exactly. Not putting things on your head is a sign it's time.
And the time you don't want to put gloves on your ears and pretend to be a reindeer.
I think that's just you, Hammond.
It's just me, isn't it?
Here's the moment I think you know. You're driving up a motorway, there's a train track next to you, a train comes, could be one of those fast ones. The day when you don't try and race the train, that's the day.
Yes.
I have to race the train.
Yes.
I have to go faster than the train, so everyone on the train looks at me and goes, I've made the wrong travel choice. Should have gone in the car.
Yes.
It's quicker. If you're ever on a train and you look out of the window and you're overtaking me and I can't be bothered to race you, it's because I'm on my way to the new Dutch Death Clinic. Bit more conversation for you.
Oh, good.
I think, with the exception of Rolls-Royce, Volvo now make the best car interiors of anybody.
No.
They're
No,
very,
you're right.
very good.
No, weirdly, I don't like it, but I agree with you, because I went in the new S90 the other day, and the interior is superb.
No, we've got a picture of it here. And
Yes,
the thing
that
about
one.
it is, they use pale colours. They've got pale-coloured seats, pale-coloured carpets, pale wood, and that makes it feel light and airy and spacious. Yeah. The only problem is that in one of those, you couldn't enjoy a chocolate Magnum ice cream.
It's all right, I don't eat ice cream. I think it's something to do with being straight. What?
What? Are you applauding him? What do you mean? Are you saying everyone who likes ice...
Well, I
So
mean,
you're saying
ice
all
cream is a bit, you know...
You're saying all children are homosexual?
No, but there's nothing wrong with it. But a grown man eating an ice cream, it's, you know, it's a bit, it's that way rather than that way. It is.
Welcome to the inside of Richard Hammond's head.
I'm right. I can't believe
thing
you
is-
can't see that. It's it's easy. It's in front of you.
You could enjoy a 99 in there.
You mean a 69?
No, 99. But you couldn't have the chocolate thingy.
My case rests.
Oh, the chocolate thing.
Do I? Exactly.
No, but if you had a Volvo, if you had that Volvo, you could have a white Magnum
True.
or a Milky Bar.
Yeah, but not a double-decker.
Well, a flake is worse.
No, double-decker's worse. Double-decker. Do you all know what I mean by the double-decker, right? Because it is unique among chocolate confectionery items. Take a bite as you're driving along, and a bit about this big, OK, silently breaks away. Goes down between your legs and melts. So when you get out of the car, everybody thinks you've had some kind of trouser accident. Big brown stain, right?
I know what you mean. I do know what you mean.
Happen.
Yeah. A flake is worse.
No, it just
A
isn't.
flake is advertised as the crumbliest, flakiest chocolate. It is worse.
This is a hot topic on conversation.
It
Chris.
is.
And I think we should settle it here and now. I'm going to go into our travelling box. Our travelling box of chocolate confectionery, and I'm going to... Let's settle it. Competition, yes?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you James's flake.
flake.
You, the double-decker.
Right, so I'll
Sorted
just
out.
turn
Eat
that
it
over
your
so then
nose.
we'll see
Yeah.
how much spills off as I eat the flake.
Yeah.
Not much, right?
This
Ready?
is scientific.
Here we go. Oh, some of it's already crumbed. This is cheating, this one.
OK, no, clear away the debris.
No,
Anthony.
I need to... Jesus.
No, that's part of eating it.
It isn't part of eating. I haven't even begun
Yeah, but
now,
you've got
right?
to unwrap it. Cheat.
Only the crumbliest, flakiest chocolate.
Oh, God.
Tastes like chocolate.
Jeremy, you know that advert, Girl in the Field of Poppies? We're not seeing that right now.
I am.
I'm not.
Right, ready? Watch this.
He's going in. First bite. Oh, it's a big fall of chocolate. It's a heavy sprinkling, that.
Well, just a light dusting of chocolate.
Light dusting, yeah, OK.
Right, James May.
Moving over to this corner, James May and his double-decker. This is exciting, isn't it?
This is a great car programme.
Groundbreaking stuff, yeah.
Quiet, please.
I can't believe this hasn't been done before. He's going in. He's taking a bite. His paw on that. His teeth. Oh! It's a catastrophic fall! The clear winner!
The double-decker is worse than the flake. There's the flake. There's the double-decker.
So there, using science, we have now established...
If you've got a Volvo, don't have a double-decker.
Ever.
Or an ice cream, because he... Oh, no. Danke. Danke und willkommen in the Große Tor, which this week comes from Germany. We're here. Specifically, we are in the city of Stuttgart, except We nearly weren't, because one of your local Green politicians tried to ban us from coming here. Now, I don't want to embarrass the poor man on television, so I've hidden his identity. Yeah.
That's good. That's appropriate.
And, I certainly don't want to tell you his name, which is Andreas Kasdorf. Not a popular man, but you elected him. Anyway, he says that we'd be unwelcome here because this is a very bicycle-friendly place. No, it isn't. It's the home of Mercedes and Porsche. And Germany... Exactly. Germany is the cradle of the automobile. The car was actually invented here. It's the last place on earth you can drive a car as fast as it will go on the motorway.
True. All true.
This is a true fact. This is a true fact. The Germans are the only people on earth who really know how to make a car. It's a true fact.
That is true. You're talking right.
I'll tell you a story. There was a Mercedes engineer and a Jaguar engineer having dinner one night. And the Mercedes engineer said, forgive the accent, we have a quality test at the Mercedes factory. Every night we take a car off the line at random. We put a cat in it. Close the doors. If when we come back in the morning, we know the door seals are working correctly if the cat has suffocated. No. Now, the Jaguar engineer said, yeah, we've got something very similar at our factory. We take a car off the line at random, we put a cat in it, we close the door, and we know the car's been built properly if when we come back in the morning, the cat hasn't escaped. That is,
True story.
yeah, true story. The strange thing is, it isn't just cars that are built well here, it's absolutely everything.
Except wine.
Yes,
Yeah, except wine.
for wine.
Sorry.
That is-
Well, come
Oh,
on.
now, come
Really?
on.
You drink that stuff?
Yeah. I wouldn't wash my hair in it.
Sure?
No, it is literally everything, though. I mean, German soft toys, better than anybody else's soft toys. Cameras, kitchen appliances. The Queen of England, she's German. She is. That's why she's still working, even though she's 117 years old. There is no word here for that'll do. There is no ambiguity at all in Germany. You certainly see this with films, OK? The names you have for American films. I've got some here. OK, you remember Airplane?
Airplane, yeah.
Airplane, yes? In Germany, it was called The Unbelievable Journey in a Crazy Airplane.
That is a comprehensive title, isn't it? You know where you are with
Yeah. What was Jaws? The what? The Visor? The White Shark?
it should have been The Massive Shark That Explodes Eventually would have come. You know where you're going with that.
What was Basic Instinct? Just not a brief glimpse of Sharon Stone's vagina.
Yes, great. So we get on with the show.
Yes, good. Now, Mercedes. They've come up with this plan, or this idea, where you can rent your car out when you're not using it.
Was that a bit like Airbnb?
Exactly like Airbnb. The thing Mercedes haven't realised is that we, and I'm sure you all agree with me on this, we form an emotional bond with our car.
Yeah, we're attached to them.
Exactly. So you're renting it to someone else. It'd be like renting out your pet.
Yeah, or your penis.
I mean, yes.
I'm attached to it.
Yes,
I mean,
you
that's
wouldn't
what I
want
mean.
to see somebody...
One would hope so. Yeah.
You wouldn't want to see somebody else having fun with it.
No, it's mine.
Exactly. That's what I'm on about. Mercedes has obviously got it into its head, and this really worries me because it's a large car company, that cars are just tools like microwave ovens or fridge freezers that we'll just sort of glad, oh, yeah, you can borrow it, I don't really care.
No, you're absolutely right, actually. They are very emotional because, you know, if you have a car, eventually you sell it, but then you see somebody else driving around in it.
Yeah,
that always feels bad. It's a bit like watching your ex-girlfriend do sex with someone else. Isn't it?
No, and after a terrible evening in a wardrobe, I know. Strangely undermining.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but you can see those circles in the lake just
Monster!
there.
Monster! It's a monster!
I just saw... Did anyone else see that?
Monster! Monster! It's real.
Well, hang on. Why don't we
Told
just...
you.
Since we can't agree on this, is there a monster in the lock? Yeah! Right, there you go. They live here. They would know.
And if there were no monster, what would you do for a tourist industry up here?
Sell tea towels without monsters on them.
No, I'm not having that, because what you're saying is that, you know, come to beautiful Scotland, as you've said, lovely roads, lovely scenery,
Yep.
there's a hotel, a beautiful lake. Why would they say, yeah, but there's a monster? That would be like saying, come to Yorkshire, it's beautiful, we've got the plague, you know. And they wouldn't do that.
We've got distracted a little bit.
We have got a bit off topic.
What were we talking about?
No, we were talking about him hiding in a wardrobe, watching
Oh,
an
yeah.
ex-girlfriend. have
Yeah,
sex.
that was an overshare.
It was a
Okay.
bit of an overshare.
Yeah.
It was
But
either that
actually-
or he'd rented his penis out. I can't remember.
Something along those lines. But actually, there's a point I just want to make on this, about this emotional connection we have with our cars. Because you know when you scrap a car, I don't know if anyone's done that, it really is very tragic when you watch a car that you've got all those shared memories going into the crusher.
It's the end of the road.
It is
Yeah.
the end of the road. Well, there's a new organisation, it's called Charity Car, where you can give your car to them, they deal with all the paperwork and what have you, and take your car away, yeah? And then they give the money that they raise to a charity of your choice.
Well, that's quite a nice
It is a
idea. I
nice
like that.
idea, so that, you know, it's sad your old car's gone, but now, you know, a donkey can be rescued. And your car lives on in the smile of an abandoned donkey.
That's a beautiful thing. That's what we're about.
That's what this show is, it's all heart.
Yeah. That's what we are.
Heart and road safety, those are the two pillars of the that underpin everything, really, on this show.
I've got some...
OK, and we start with this. It's the new Alfa Romeo Stelvio.
For God's sake!
This is important news.
It's not important news, it's niche news for morons.
It's not! It's a superb car, because you can have it with the same 500 horsepower engine that you get in the Quadriplegio, and with that, you get four-wheel drive.
Oh, so that one will work in the wet, will it?
Hammond,
Yes?
when somebody has a baby, OK, do you go up to it and they go, look at my new baby that I've created? It's really ugly.
Oh, only if it's ugly.
You can't be cruel about Alfa Romeos. They're
Can.
trying so
And I
hard. Oh, well, let's just move it on. Forget the Alfa then. Forget the Alfa. Now, welcome to the Grand Tour, which this week comes to you from the shores of Loch Ness in Scotland. Now, exactly. Now, to most people around the world, Scotland is just a bunch of scenery and Mel Gibson with some paint on his face. But actually, it's a bit more than that. What we have here is a list of all the important things that were invented in America, OK? This is what the Germans came up with. Then we got the English contribution. And then, obviously, let's have a look at what France did. That's it. I'm not making that up.
Actually, and the pencil sharp.
Oh, and the pencil sharpener.
Yeah,
I got that. Now let's have a look at the list of things that were invented by Scottish people.
It's just...
Unbelievable. It's everything. Cordite, cloning, colour photography, percussion cap, golf, lime cordial. I mean, the list goes on and on. Buick.
Hang on a minute. Why is the US Navy on there?
I'm not joking. That was actually invented by a Scottish person.
Was
so
it?
was the BBC, so was the SAS. All special forces, in fact. And I think I know why. If you are from Mexico or France or Italy, you wake up in the morning, open the curtains, it's a lovely day, think I'll go to the beach. In Scotland, you open the curtains, it's damp and cold, I'll go to the shed and I'll invent something. That's what's going on there.
I'm surprised, actually, the English don't just say that those are British inventions.
Ah, yes, the Andy Murray syndrome. Let's be honest, this does happen a lot. OK, Alexander Graham Bell, when he was working away with his Bakelite and his wires in his shed, he was a Scottish crackpot. When he invented the telephone, he was a British genius. Exactly the same sort of thing happens with sport, motor racing. Jackie Stewart, 3 times Formula 1 world champion. OK, he's British. Jim Clark, 2 times Formula 1 world champion. British. David Coulthard, Scottish. That's how it works. That's how it works. Maybe we should explain to people in America what's going on here.
Yeah, exactly. Let me just clear this up for you. This is how it works on this side of the pond, OK? This is Britain. Now, this bit is England, where we're from.
Yeah.
This bit's Scotland, where we are now. This bit's Wales, which is next to where I live.
Yes,
That's how
exactly.
it works.
Now, the rules are very simple. If you're English and you become brilliant or do something brilliant, you remain English. If you're Scottish or Welsh and you do something brilliant, the English decide that you are, in fact, British.
Yeah, the English really are appalling, aren't they? Let's just get on the phone. I've got some conversation for you, yes, which is that there's a website that tells you how many of any given type of car are still left on the roads of Britain today, yes? And I'm afraid we have some sad news.
Yeah, we do. This is a big worry. You remember the Citroen Saxo VTS? Yeah? There it is.
The car of the agri.
It is. The ideal car to nip out and steal a chainsaw in. Fabulous, proper, fizzy little hatchback. Loved it. Well, in 2008, there were 5,000 of them on the road. Mm-hmm. This year, 491 left on the road. And in fact, I know this is a worry. We've done it. Look, we've got a little chart. We've drawn this up. At that rate, by 2019, they'll all have gone.
There's also the Vauxhall Calibra 16 valve. There's a picture of it. We used to love that. Do you know there are only 323 of those left, and they could be extinct within a year.
And do you know what's interesting is there are people all over the world working hard to save the tiger from extinction. But nobody is doing anything to save the Vauxhall Calibra 16 valve.
We've identified something here.
No, there isn't. However, there is some good news in all of this. The Morris Ital. 175,000 of these turds were squeezed out by the Austin. Yeah. And in 2015, there were only 35 left.
Yes! Now you can cheer. That is good news.
It's good news. Only 35 on the road.
Wait. You're absolutely right. But before you celebrate, yes, 35 left on the road in 2015. Mm-hmm. In 2016, there were 47.
Oh, so they're going up?
Are they mating?
No. No, I think people are restoring them.
What people?
Mad people.
Anyway, look. No, you're possibly right, but I've done a calculation. And at that rate, that's a 34% increase in just 1 year. And at that rate, by the year 2044, all 175,000 Morris Itals will be back on the road.
Oh, my God.
This is a disaster.
It is. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Brexit. That's what they want, backwards with Britain.
It is time now, since we've reached the end of Conversation Street, to select reverse and have a look at this. Hello and welcome to the Grand Tour, which this week comes to you from Nashville. There it is. It's a city that was named after General Nash, big war hero, kicked the British out. You got... You ended up with independence, and how's that working out for you? I mean, I only asked because we were looking the other day at the best-selling cars in America these days. This is the top 5. There you go, that's independence. Working well. Toyota, Honda, Toyota, Nissan, Honda.
So what is actually made in Detroit these days now?
Well, mostly they just grow sustainable organic peace beans. No, it's just women with armpit hair growing kale. That's all that's going on there. Municipal farms for the community. Now, the reason we've come to Nashville is very simple. In fact, it's because I've been to all 50 of the US states, but I've never been here before. And what a town!
Yeah.
Who knew?
We are loving it. It is a great place. We're loving it. And the music is amazing. Loving it.
Not really.
Mate, you can't... This is known as Music City, USA. That's what it is. It's where we are.
But it isn't, is it? Because Detroit is.
Oh, no. Listen. No. Motown is just 3 minutes of jangly nonsense.
Oh, come on, Hammond.
Hammond, it just isn't. You cannot possibly say that country and western music is designed to make you miserable. Motown is designed to make you happy.
No, he's absolutely right. Motown is happier music. I mean, take something like Martha Reeve dancing in the streets, OK? Listen to how happy the words are. Every guy, grab a girl everywhere around the world.
Isn't that what Donald was telling us to do? He did.
No, he said every guy grope a girl. Very different thing.
Right, yeah.
Detroit isn't just Motown. Bob Seger's from Detroit.
It is housewives' music.
Ted Nugent.
Mad.
Iggy Pop,
Ridiculous.
Madonna,
Annoying.
Eminem,
Can't sing.
Alice Cooper,
Ridiculous again.
half the Eagles,
Which half?
Glenn Fry.
I don't like that half.
Nashville, right? What's come out of here? Miley Cyrus?
Brilliant.
You just said that out loud on
Yeah,
television.
I did.
And the Allman Brothers.
Never heard of him.
You have. The Allman Brothers, they had that one hit, instrumental. What was it called? Jennifer.
Oh, I hated that.
You never hear it anymore, do you?
No. Rubbish.
Weirdest thing. Oh, hello.
We've had a message.
Oh, sorry. This is a message from Mr. Willman. I think we've gone a bit off topic.
He might be cross. We have a bit.
So now let's move on, shall we? I've got something. Back in the 1920s, okay, a Scottish company made a car which they said was for women. Got a picture of it here. It's called the Galloway.
Yeah, but what about that car makes it for women? It's just
Well,
a
they
car.
said that it had a smaller than usual steering wheel and a more reliable engine.
Oh, yeah, of course, because men don't want a reliable engine, do they? It's only women.
I hate reliable engine. Also, you could drive it standing up, which is what women did in the 1920s. This sort of thing is still going on today, actually, because I've got news of one here. A car that's been launched called the Seat Mii Cosmopolitan. We have a picture of it. There you go.
Sorry, how do you spell me?
M-I-I.
It is me.
It is a Mii. It's
It's
been done
these
in...
days. I've got a me.
Well, it's been done in collaboration with Cosmopolitan magazine. It's aimed at Cosmo Girl, it says. And, are you ready? The headlights have an eyeliner shape.
No, they don't.
It's easy to park.
Oh, yeah, because I much prefer a car that's hard to park because I'm a man.
Can we get something clear here, okay? This gender splitting of cars is ridiculous. It's like saying, oh, well, a woman's airline seat or a woman's matches or a woman's anything.
Hello, can I buy a box of women's pencils, please?
Exactly.
Same.
Exactly. The only things I can think of that can be split by gender are bicycles, because of the crossbar,
Oh, yeah.
and underwear.
Sometimes, yeah.
Overshare?
No, I said that. I left in a hurry.
It is, honestly, I just can't understand why people think there's such a thing as a woman's car and a man's car.
No, it's ridiculous. It's not as if you drive cars with your old chap or your magic triangle. It's ridiculous. But then there's listen.
It's a little practice.
Now, I would like to have a conversation about the Nürburgring, because this is important. Last year, I was delighted. The people who run the Nürburgring in Germany, they said they were going to ban car manufacturers from setting lap records.
Sorry,
there,
why were you delighted about that?
Because that's an excellent idea. Because if you make a car that is excellent for doing a fast lap of the Nürburgring, it will be useless as a car everywhere else in your life. It's like setting your house up to play Laser Quest. It will be brilliant for playing Laser Quest, but it'll be rubbish for a dinner party because it's full of lasers and darkness and fog and music and people running around thinking that they're in Star Wars. Or you could get a dog. You could train a dog as an attack dog, which is fantastic if you own a scrapyard and you need the dog to guard it. But if you take it home and expect it to be a pet, it will eat your children. It's completely useless. That's what happens when you set a car up for the Nürburgring.
Yeah, this isn't really a conversation, James.
No, I think we've accidentally turned down Rant Lane this week.
Well, there's more.
Oh, he's off
actually.
again.
No, but the thing is, the bad news in all this is that they've decided that they will allow car manufacturers to set lap records again.
Well, that's good.
No, it's bad.
Okay.
Because think of the cars that have come out recently that we've driven that have been developed so that they would go fast around the Nürburgring. BMW M4 GTS, you can't deny it, it's a terrible car.
Yes.
Nissan GTR, the track edition, that is a terrible car. Even Seat, the Seat Leon Cupra 280, that's got a hatchback record for going around the Nürburgring, and it's rubbish. The Nürburgring ruins cars. I'm developing an app for the smartphone called Bomb the Nürburgring, where you guide a Dornier 17 over it and blow it up.
What are you doing on this programme?
Talking sense.
Good question. I don't know.
Because we have this old woman who has a baking show in Britain. She's called Mary Berry. And it would be the same, you probably know, she's probably the same as her saying, I hate cakes.
Yes.
Mary Berry would agree with me, because if she made a cake that had been developed on the Nürburgring, someone would put fried onions on the top and completely ruin it. You'd have a Victoria sponge with onion on the top for no reason.
James, you know you're weird, don't
That's
you?
not weird. That's the most sensible thing that's ever been said on this show.
You are weird.
Not weird.
He is weird. We were coming through the airport here the other day, coming through Chicago, and he went, Jeremy, smell my jacket.
He said what?
Yeah.
He did. He said, smell my jacket. I said, why? He said, because it smells of old record players.
Mate, that is weird.
But it did.
You know record players don't smell of anything.
They do. Old ones do. They smell of old record players. Who knows what an old record player smells of? Smells of decaying electrical
I'd like us to move
things
it
and
on because
valves.
it's getting scary now. What are you
That's
doing?
not a
It
record
smells
player.
of anything. What do you want about?
Does anybody have an old record player or anything old electrical? They smell, don't they? They
Does
have a
anybody
smell.
ever smelt an old record player, really? You think you have? You've smelt an old... God's truth. Did it have a wax cylinder on it, your old record player? What?
It smelled like old plastic and warm rubber.
Yeah, exactly. See,
No,
that
that's
is
the
actually-
smelling of his special drawer, is that?
You're actually talking to Thomas Edison there. He invented the record player.
Impressive.
What answer?
Best one yet. Anyway, we begin with Dubai, in fact, because the first time I came here, which was only 20 years ago, it was like a small village. I was the tallest thing in it.
Weird.
Have a look at it. It's unbelievable.
It's not that now, is it?
It is.
Staggering.
It is unbelievable, that. Do you know, this shirt is older than everything you can see out of that window.
James, that shirt is older than Carthage, mate. Look at it.
It is getting on a bit. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, a few years ago, when I first came here, there were virtually no motoring laws at all. I woke up one morning in my hotel, the hotel, there was only one, in the hotel thinking, how did I get back here last night? Looked out of the window, 2 wheel marks right over the ornamental roundabout. And in the flower bed, my Range Rover.
Jeremy, were you very tired when you parked it?
I was off my face with
Okay.
tiredness.
Okay.
Barely able to concentrate. But it was an extraordinary free-for-all, which I bet it isn't now.
No, it really isn't now. There are now very many rules and many stiff punishments. I've got some of them here. Getting behind on the repayments on your car loan, you go to prison. Making rude gestures at other motorists, you go to prison.
Well, they're all just the things I did when I was 17, all of them every day.
Quite approve of that. I'm just thinking of all the things that you could be sent to prison for in Britain.
Oh, good
if we run it properly.
conversation.
Very good
I like
conversation,
that.
isn't it? Here's one. Anyone who takes more than 5 seconds between getting in their car after filling up with petrol and driving off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by-
Definitely. Definitely.
What do they do?
I know.
What?
Restaurant owners who serve food on a piece of wood.
It's not very car-related, is it, really?
No, it's not. But
Heston Blumenthal does that.
yes, he does. Exactly, Heston, if you're watching. Prison. Prison. I hate that, food on
No,
a piece
I
of
tell
wood.
you what I hate. I may have mentioned this a couple of times before, and I think it should be imprisonable. Any pilot who allows the cabin of the plane to be more than 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
God, here we
No, I'm with you on that one.
All planes are too hot these days.
Well,
It's just a standard moan of yours.
I know.
it is. Oh, God. We do have to fly together, but obviously I make every effort not to sit near Jeremy Clarkson for a long flight. But eventually, you know, they turn the lights off and it goes all dark, and after 10 minutes, this voiceover in the blackness goes, "It's literally the hottest place in the world."
Are we flying into the sun? If it gets any hotter, I shall open a window. I've heard all this so many times.
Honestly, why do they do it? Why are there any pilots here? You are a pilot. Why do you do it? Why do you boil us all? Who do you fly with? Etihad. How hot are the planes? Well, there's a new rule. I'm warning you. I'm seriously warning you on this one. You land, if it's gone over 68 in the cabin, straight to prison for 50 years.
Can I also say,
Really
since
gone
you're
off
in
topic.
here, no, it's worth pointing this out, since you're in here, when we're all trying to sleep, don't come on and tell us the outside temperature is 57 below zero, because we don't give a toss.
No, we don't.
Right? Because we can't
All
open
we
the
care
window
about
anyway.
is the temperature in the plane.
Just a few rules.
Anyway, let's move it on. Shall we get back onto some cars?
Yeah, travel.
Well,
colours.
sort of travel-related stuff. OK. I've got a photograph here of Britain's idea of infrastructure investment, OK? This is in Cambridge. It's It's a T-junction that they've designed for reasons known only to themselves to look like a roundabout.
Yeah, and let me guess, it cost 100 grand to do it.
No, it was £500,000, yes.
Of course it was, yeah.
£500,000 they charged the taxpayer for that.
For some paving slabs, which is
Exactly.
what that is.
Anyway, Dubai's idea of infrastructure investment is a little bit different, because what they're planning is this. It's called the Hyperloop. It's like a tube train, and it'll go from Dubai to Abu Dhabi, which is about 100 miles away, in 12 minutes.
12 minutes?
Wow.
12 minutes. That's how long that will take.
So how fast does it go?
500 miles an hour. I mean, that is just breathtaking.
something
It
else.
really is.
Well, hang on. Did you say it was 100 miles?
Yep.
It's going 100 miles at 500 miles an hour in 12 minutes. That means it accelerates to 500 miles an hour instantly.
Ooh, you're going to have trouble holding on to the drinks trolley at that, aren't you? Go on. When it sets off, you'll poo yourself, and then when it stops, you'll wee yourself at the end.
It's a reason. Are there any doctors here?
I'm just saying. It's not a medical argument. I'm just saying.
Could
I'm
well
not
be-
sure you're right. I think, well, think about Newton. If you set off, you'll poo yourself, yes, but when it slows down, you'll unpoo yourself, because everything has an equal and opposite reaction. I'm roughly right, aren't I? Any physicists here?
I think we should move on.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, and welcome to the first ever Grand Tour. Thank you. Now, we hope you like our tent. We think the great thing is that because it roams around the world, we get a different view out of the big picture windows every week. So this week, obviously, we've got the high desert of California. Next week, who knows?
I do.
Well, yes, James, we know it's Johannesburg.
Well, now they know.
But I know they know now. It doesn't matter. Point is, the view changes, and so does the audience, OK? I mean, this week, you're all Americans. Now, this is a bit of a problem for people like us who speak English. We can converse perfectly well in a shop or a restaurant, but when it comes to cars and motoring, every single word you use is different. When I say different, I mean wrong. When you change gear with a lever, what do you call that? Stick. Do you see? This is a stick. Couldn't change gear with this. It wouldn't work. What you can do with this is point at things, OK? Let's just see if we can get you educated. What do you call this bit of a car? Bonnet. What do you mean? No, I know you can wear a bonnet on your head. It's two things. We're capable of having those different thoughts. Now, what type of vehicle is this? No, it's stupid.
Oh, no. Hang on.
It's stupid. Let's do another one of these. What type of vehicle is this? Coupe. A coupe is where you keep your chickens. That's a coupe. That's a French word, I admit.
Yeah, a bit.
And they're muddled with that. George Bush, you heard what he once said about the French? Said the trouble with the French is they have no word for entrepreneur.
It is difficult. I think the only thing we agree on is steering wheel.
Yeah.
But then they go and put it on the wrong side of the car.
It must be really annoying having to drive along like that all the time. Why don't you just put it in front of the driver like we do?
Yeah.
It's probably a good idea if we get on with the actual show.
Yes, it is.